An innovative and inspiring leader, Jim Solem's tireless work in real estate finance and public policy supported the development of rental and ownership housing for low and moderate income households.
The system is very much skewed to home ownership with all kinds of benefits in the tax system for homeowners, and not everybody can afford to own a home. So the federal government decided way back when in the Depression that there would be federal programs to help with affordable rental housing. And state housing finance agencies grew out of that stream of public policy to figure out ways to continue to produce affordable rental housing.
Jim really understood the importance of creating a framework where the public-private partnership could exist and thrive. He understood the public policy side, but he understood that the public side alone really doesn't do a very good job of developing and owning real estate. And so he understood the power of creating a framework that made it safe for private developers to develop affordable housing and manage that housing for the long term.
His commendable leadership and commitment to transforming the housing communities throughout Minnesota led to his appointments as Executive Director of the Minnesota State Planning Agency and as Commissioner of the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency, a position he was appointed to 5 times by 3 Minnesota governors.
I'm very proud of the Housing Finance Agency, both in terms of my time in helping get it created and get it started. And then I was commissioner for a very long time.
Jim literally created the Minnesota Housing Finance Agency in the early 70s. He was at the State Planning Agency and really looked at the availability of some new federal tools and went to then Governor Wendell Anderson, and they proposed to form a new housing finance agency that has existed ever since.
The agency was a big producer or a big financer of rental housing, 80% of which was done by the private sector, the rest of it by nonprofits. So we worked with the development community in all parts of the state and with local governments in all parts of the state to produce a high quality of affordable rental housing.
Last year alone, we made more than $1 billion of financing available to low-income Minnesotans. I think it's a track record that anyone would be proud of, and none of us would be here today had it not been for Jim. When they say we stand on the shoulders of giants, Jim is truly one of those giants, not just in Minnesota, but across the country when it comes to financing residential real estate for low and moderate income Americans.
In 1994, Solem was asked by Governor Arne Carlson to become the first head of the newly expanded Metropolitan Council, following the mergers of 4 previously independent regional agencies.
I'm also very proud of my time at the Metropolitan Council. I came there to implement a merger of 4 agencies into one. Very difficult to do, not everybody was happy. 2 of those agencies provide really crucial service to the region, wastewater treatment, which isn't very glamorous, but it's pretty darn important, and transit. And in both instances, we dramatically improved the quality and cost of services during the time I was there, and especially in transit. I brought in nationally recognized professional management and got started with the light rail system.
Solem has always held himself to a high standard, leading with integrity and transparency in his public service.
Jim, by training, was a planner, so he always had that long view. Good projects and good communities don't just happen. That the best of our communities are ones where the public officials have really been thoughtful about planning for the long term, planning for communities that can be home to everyone.
I never really got involved that much in getting the acceptance of housing. The worst experiences I had were getting wastewater treatment plants accepted in a community. when I was at the Metropolitan Council, and you haven't lived until you've done that.
Please congratulate Jim Solem, 2015 award recipient of the Minnesota Real Estate Hall of Fame.